lies, every truth came wrapped in lies. I kept believing what you sold, turned my heart into your home, but every crack inside these walls shows the truth behind it all. I tried to fix what you denied, but truth can't live where secrets hide.
a hot AEW pay-per-view curse continues.
But JD, this show was fire, man.
Oh, my fellow sicko. Oh, my fellow sicko. I wouldn't use fire in that sense to describe this show tonight. But I have another word chat in my vocabulary that I would describe. Dynamite. Does anybody know what that is? Anybody? Because this show was boring! What are we doing? MJF is defending the title next week against the guy who's wrestled nobody but jobbers. And Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are defending the tag team titles against two jobbers. It's Forbidden Door season, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I could walk through the door myself and burn it to the fucking ground. We're gonna go and talk about this show tonight at the OTS venue. Man, do I need some whiskey stat. When I get there on this Wednesday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? Boring! This show is boring! It also isn't about excuses. WWE has failed creatively. AEW has failed fundamentally. So why did Triple H lose the plot? Why did Tony Khan abandon everything that made AEW special? Because nobody is committed to the one thing that actually matters: long-term booking. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for your May 27th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on this Wednesday evening, wherever you may be, joined by the one and only, the man who refuses to watch any of AEW Collision because it just sucks. Jesse, the Chi-Town Spark, what's going on, brother?
Hola, senors.
How you doing, man? I gotta make you smaller in here, man. You're looking a little too large on my screen. There he is. There he is.
Hey, man, you can't help but being extra large sometimes, bro.
Well, I don't know, man. You can be extra large in the right places or the wrong places, man. I don't want to know either. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Let me see. Did you shrink me? Because I can shrink myself.
No. You're good. You're good. Don't touch yourself.
All right. I like touching myself.
Well, listen, man. This is a PG show, okay?
Now it's a PG show.
Yes, it's a PG show, man. Yeah.
Okay.
How you feeling tonight, man? It was a little warm in New York City, man. About 87 degrees today. How's it feeling over there?
Yeah, same. It was like 85 earlier when the show started. I'm down to, oh God, I don't want to say the temperature right now.
It's 74 degrees right now where I am. I'm looking at it right now on my on my desktop.
The temperature right now on my desktop is 67 degrees.
That's good. That's good. It's still air conditioned weather though.
It is. The AC is on right now in my office. So because my monitors and lights and it gets too hot.
Yeah, the central air on is on here. So
yeah, for sure, man. But not a bad show. Well, wait, what'd you think of the show?
It wasn't all bad. Honestly, it wasn't all bad. I got some questions, but it wasn't all bad.
Yeah, I mean, as far as look, what I was looking for today was, did we wrap things up from previous feuds and did we initiate some new feuds? And we got that, so it's fine. I'm not looking for a star-studded, spectacular show. Did we establish some new feuds going into the next build for the next show? And we got that.
Well, maybe. We don't know what we got. It is Forbidden Door season, which typically is the worst season that AEW puts on all year because it's just a bunch of people that we in America here don't give a shit about.
Well, if you forget about Forbidden Door for a second, and maybe they're building towards a TV special or something, I don't know. But we got the tag team champions with new opponents. MJF seemingly has 2 new opponents. All right. So, I mean, they did establish the next round of feuds to a certain degree.
You know, I feel, and I posted, with how hot Double or Nothing was, they really needed to come out swinging. They needed to come out and really answer some questions coming out of the pay-per-view. And I said on social media, I'm looking for a few things for tonight's Dynamite. Number 1 would be Kevin Knight and an explanation as to why he turned on Darby Allin at the end of the show. We got that. So that's a check. That's a check mark. Okay, that's good. Now I don't really know where we're going with Mike Bailey when that match is happening. It sounds like it's happening very imminently on Dynamite. I would save that for a pay-per-view. But Mike Bailey also said that he wanted Kevin Knight to apologize. To who? To Darby Allin? To Mike Bailey? To the fans? He didn't really specify. Right. So Kevin Knight came out and explained why he did what he did. So that's a check mark right there. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. That was the other thing I was looking forward to seeing who they get set with going into Forbidden Door. We got opponents, but not the opponents that we need. And quite honestly, it is nothing more than a filler feud that is going to lose interest very, very quickly. Because the team that they're putting Copeland and Christian with, Jesse, is not somebody that we genuinely find interesting.
Do you want them to lose the tag titles right away?
No, the Hurt Syndicate's standing right there, bro.
So it should definitely be something that they can get into without running the risk of flat out losing the titles in the first defense.
Well, you have other teams there, bro. You got the Rascals, you got the Hurt Syndicate, you got the Outrunners, you got other teams, bro. There's more teams than the Dogs.
We could have picked one of those other teams, and you could still say a bunch of other teams. So one of them had to be picked.
Are we thumbs upping a Dogs Cope and Christian feud?
They established their next feud. Do I love the Dogs? No. Are they an established tag team here? They are. they're a team that's going to lose the first feud, right?
Sure.
Got to start somewhere.
Boring. It's Forbidden Door season after all, folks. So you know that the New Japan tie-in is going to be there. So hats off to Tony Khan for that one. We got that. Not very good. MJF had his championship celebration tonight, which was great. And MJF sounded very MJF-like tonight, which is always great. He's back with the World Championship. All is right in AEW land. And then Mark Briscoe comes out to challenge MJF to a championship match. And then MJF says no to Mark Briscoe. And then he walks away. And then out comes Roosh, who says he also wants an AEW championship match. And MJF is now going to put the championship on the line next week in Richmond, Virginia, against Roosh. Roosh, by the way, chat, who's wrestled nobody of note, nobody of importance, has won jobber matches, and apparently by winning jobber matches in this company, it now nets you a world championship match against probably the hottest talent and the best wrestler on the entire planet right now. They're world champion.
The hottest talent who's been losing leading up to him getting his title back.
I don't understand some of the things that this company does, but we'll get into that as well. Kyle Fletcher was another thing I was looking forward to. An explanation as to why he turned on Konosuke Takeshita and why he booted Takeshita out of the Don Callis family. We got that. It was very late in the night. I wish they would have done it a little earlier, but they waited until after Mark Davis advanced in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup. So Mark Davis advances, and then Brody King also advances over Claudio Castagnoli. Brody wrestles Swerve Strickland in the second round, and Mark Davis now gets Will Ospreay in the second round. So we have that to look forward to in the weeks to come. That was Dynamite. There wasn't really much else to talk about, but now that we laid that all out, Jesse, what was your biggest takeaway? What do you want to start with here on Wednesday night?
I think the show was fine. I mean, again, I had some of these people in my stream earlier. They wanted the absolute perfect show that they would have booked themselves, and if it didn't go down that way, they were ready to sit here and just be an asshole about it. I mean, I mean, these people, bro, I don't understand them, because I have never seen the perfect wrestling show ever. You name me the perfect wrestling show, and I will sit here and poke holes in it, because that's just how wrestling goes. I would have done things differently. I would have done this. I would have done that. I would have changed this. I would have changed that. You want your perfect wrestling show. I'm just looking for something that makes sense following the pay-per-view, and that's kind of what we got here.
The perfect wrestling show does exist.
It does not. Name me one.
2006 ECW One Night Stand.
I got to go back and look at it, but I'll poke some fucking holes in it.
NXT TakeOver New York.
I'll poke some holes in it. And the thing is, you're not naming bad shows. I'm saying they're not perfect.
No, nothing's perfect. Nothing in this life is perfect.
It's going to be perfect. Right?
Nothing in this world is perfect.
Nothing is perfect. So you can miss me with the come on Jesse's and everything else. No, you guys are in your boat of let's shit on this show, and I'm not going to do that tonight.
I get it. I get it. What do you want to talk about?
MJF.
Okay, good, because that's where I wanted you to go anyway.
Yeah, so MJF he says, and I had some people look into it because I didn't know if it was true or not. He is one of 8 of the first of the 8 wrestlers to have ever been 3-time world champion under 30.
Yes.
It's pretty damn impressive, man.
I got to look up who the other 7 are.
Yeah. I had somebody point those out. Luthez, Brock Lesnar. Oh God, there was some more. Who are the others?
Is Randy Orton on that list?
Randy Orton, yes, Randy Orton too.
Okay.
Some pretty damn prominent names. I mean, there are no slouches in there. You know, I don't understand like the whole thing of bragging about that. That means you lost a couple of times. You know, I think the guy who's world champion once who didn't lose would be a bigger thing to brag about, but nonetheless, MJF comes out, said he's one of the top 8 wrestlers to ever win 3 times under 30, And he's not wrong, man. I mean, he is a generational talent as he is, you know. So then we're looking into Mark Briscoe comes out. That wasn't, you know, the first choice of many, you know, and then we get Roosh. The thing about it is MJF just won that title back, and he is about to go on what could be a generational run of a string of wins. Somebody has to lose. Somebody has to lose. So all of your favorites, so who you would rather see in this spot other than Mark Briscoe and other than Roosh, is someone you're going to put in this spot to lose. So they are setting up some people to take L's for MJF right now, man. And Mark Briscoe, we've just recently seen that. Roosh should be an interesting one. Roosh versus MJF should be a pretty damn good match, man. What do you think?
Well, I have no problem with Roosh. I think Roosh is fantastic. The problem is Roosh hasn't been on Dynamite or featured on Dynamite in any specific important way I can't even fucking remember when. I mean, the guy's been banished to Ring of Honor. My problem. What? Yeah, go ahead.
He's been on the show.
Yeah, he's wrestled jobbers, Jesse.
I don't watch Ring of Honor or Collision, and I've seen Roosh, so he's been on the show.
Well, he's wrestled nobodies. He's accumulated wins via jobbers. So if that is what people think of him being included on Dynamite should be, then they really don't know much of anything. The problem here is we just got done. How many title defenses, chat? 8 or 9 for Darby Allin? 8 or 9 title defenses in the month of May consecutively, defending the title against the likes of Sammy Guevara and Tommaso Ciampa and Konosuke Takeshita, which was a great match. Speedball Mike Bailey, a lot of those. Pac, he's fucking great. None of which, outside Takeshita maybe, deserves a championship opportunity. They don't really deserve a championship title match, but Tony Khan opted to use Darby Allin in the AEW World Championship as an invitation for an open challenge every week. And apparently this is some sort of generational, going to be remembered forever type of run for Darby Allin. The problem is we had all of that for 4 weeks. MJF just won the championship back, which in my personal opinion, he never should have lost the title. We should have never had MJF without the belt for 4 weeks, but here we are. So he wins the belt back in New York in a great match with Darby Allin. He saves himself from having his hair shaved. He comes out and has a championship celebration. And theoretically, the way that it should have been done tonight was Tony Khan should have been at least setting MJF's opponent up for Forbidden Door. And apparently he opted not to do that. Now, maybe it's Mark Briscoe. I mean, I would rather take Mark Briscoe over some fucking nobody in New Japan that we don't give a fuck about. But maybe it's Mark Briscoe. So Tony Khan didn't set up or give any indication to what MJF's match at Forbidden Door is going to be. And this is a rough show because this title match is going to mean nothing at the end of the day. So he says, all right, no Mark Briscoe, but we'll send Roosh out there. First of all, why is MJF defending the AEW World Championship just like Darby Allin has been doing for the last 9 defenses? He just won the title back. If MJF is going to do anything right now, it is hold on to Triple B. He doesn't need to defend the championship. Why are we putting MJF back into matches on Dynamite defending the AEW World Championship against people that don't deserve it? You can come up with all the mathematical equations and all the calculations you want about how Roosh is great and Roosh is this and Roosh is that. Roosh doesn't deserve a World Championship match. He's been featured very minimally on the show. But Tony Khan can't beat anybody at the top of the card, and he doesn't have the wherewithal to book a Forbidden Door match for MJF right now because he's probably still wondering who that's going to be. So let's get another random title defense out there that by the end of next Wednesday will mean jack shit. This is my problem. The problem with AEW and its fan base, Jesse, is they look at WWE and how Cody doesn't defend the championship, how Roman doesn't defend the championship on a random Raw and SmackDown. Yet here we have the AEW World Championship for the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks, defended as a mid-card title. It's not good.
Wow. That's definitely a way to look at it.
Yes.
Did you wake up on the wrong side of your coffee this morning? What the fuck happened to you?
That's the way that I've looked at it since Darby won the championship.
So you want the guy to have the title. You want the guy to face quality opponents, but you don't want him to face anybody you don't like. So everybody that he faces should be a top echelon guy. You want to beat all those guys, but then later on you'll complain that there's nobody for MJF to face.
How about we find somebody and put somebody or a group of people through rigorous circumstances so that they can earn a shot at MJF?
Yeah, they're doing that in the Owen.
But we have another pay-per-view or two before we get to Wembley. We have Forbidden Door to look at in 4 weeks. Next week will be 3 weeks, and still we won't have an opponent for MJF. The problem is, Jesse, MJF doesn't need to defend the championship. People need to be lining up to fight MJF.
Well, I agree there. I don't think he should be defending the title every week. But
No.
I think they're going to be going through not the same thing Darby went through, but they're going to have a champion that's going to wrestle every week. And I'm guessing that's what they're doing, because otherwise I wouldn't have MJF wrestle every week either. I do want to see him every week. I actually don't want to see him wrestle every week, though. I will absolutely agree to that. I think that wrestling the champion should be an earned privilege and not something that someone randomly gets every week.
Yeah,
I 100% agree to that.
Yeah, I 100%. Now, the thing with Mark Briscoe is I would absolutely take Mark Briscoe over anybody in New Japan right now, because I don't really give a shit about New Japan. I don't think anybody here does. And the Forbidden Door concept is fucking dead. So if you're going to give me Mark Briscoe and build Mark Briscoe, I'm all right with that. The problem is, Mark Briscoe, the last time we saw him in a ring with MJF is that stupid tables and thumbtacks match at All Out in September. He does have a pinfall victory over MJF before MJF came back and won the championship at World's End. So the problem is, you're trying to sell me on Mark Briscoe, who last beat MJF in September, hasn't done anything world championship title related since then, and now all because MJF is the world champion in May going into June, and you need an opponent for MJF because you don't want to beat any of your top guys before we get to the bigger shows later this summer. Now you want to sell me on Mark Briscoe? If you want to make guys like Mark Briscoe a top contender for an MJF, they need to be hovering around the mid card or the upper card. They need to get out of the mid card, and they need to be wrestling top guys. They need to be getting wins over top guys. How am I going to look at Mark Briscoe, who's fucking great, don't get me wrong, do nothing and then earn a shot at MJF? These are the logic gaps in the television show that I absolutely fucking can't stand. And they just came out of a hot pay-per-view, and Jesse, they go right back to doing the fucking nonchalant, lazy bullshit that we always call them out for. And I'm holding them to a higher standard now, and rightfully so, because the show on Sunday was fucking phenomenal. And then they come out and do this type of shit. Lazy. I'm holding their feet to the fire for this. And I don't give a fuck if it's Forbidden Door season. They need to get their shit straight. And they need to make whatever it is on that show meaningful, and less New Japan and more AEW, because the concept is dead.
Are they building towards Forbidden Door right now? Did they mention Forbidden Door at all tonight?
Yes, it's on it's literally on the panels of the LED stage.
Are they building towards matches for Forbidden Door? So are they building for Mark Briscoe or Roosh at Forbidden Door? Are they building towards the Dogs and Edge and Christian towards Forbidden Door? That is Forbidden Door being pushed as being the next target for anybody's feud?
Well, the only one that I could see is Copeland and Christian versus the Dogs, because the Dogs just came from New Japan. So I'm assuming he would want them because of that presence. But the only other thing is the Owens, the men and women Owen finals.
The finals are at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, the two finals are at Forbidden Door. Yeah,
the finals are Forbidden Door. Okay, because sometimes they build towards TV specials. That's why I'm like, are these matches that they've started to hint at? Are they matches that are going to be at Forbidden Door, or are we jumping the gun and they could be done before Forbidden Door? Forbidden Door could, like we said, be a non-canon, entirely different entity.
Well, yeah, I don't know what's coming up before Forbidden Door. I think last year they did Mexico at Arena Mexico. So if they're doing Arena Mexico, which I know Tony says he's doing, or at least wants to do, I mean, the proper match to do there would be Andrade versus MJF, which they did, to be fair, show Andrade tonight, and he did cut a backstage promo saying that he wants a shot at the world title, which has been something he's asked for many weeks now since he's gotten back to the company. And if you do that match in Mexico, that would be fucking phenomenal because that would be a great place to do it. But if you want to do that at Forbidden Door, maybe you should put more of an emphasis on that for Forbidden Door because that's a match that I'm personally very interested in.
Yeah, like Forbidden Door is like a solid month away, and they just started a couple of feuds. Maybe we might be getting these for before Forbidden Door, possibly. I'm not sure here because they haven't really said.
Someone said August. Gavin says August for Arena Mexico.
Oh, they are having one in
Arena Mexico is in August per the Mexican commentary. Okay. Well, there you go. Never mind. Omit what I just said.
It could be. We're not sure what exactly they're building to. We know Forbidden Door is normally a bunch of matches that we get no build for. Almost like a Survivor Series type deal. And it's never that great leading into it, but then the matches themselves are normally pretty good. Well, if we're just gonna focus on what they did here tonight, it looked like tonight they just wanted to follow up with what they did going into Double or Nothing, coming out of Double or Nothing, and then to the near future with some of the feuds that they started. That's why I'm like, well, what is Forbidden Door? I don't think Forbidden Door is really being touted as a target for anything here right now. Not yet, at least. Not yet. Because this stuff could be popping off before Forbidden Door. It's a good solid month away. I'm pretty sure Edge and Christian and the Dogs are not going to happen a month from now. I think it's going to happen before. You know what I'm saying? MJF's next match is going to happen before. A lot of these things are happening before. So we might be putting the cart in front of the horse, only talking about Forbidden Door. That's what I'm saying.
Well, maybe. Like I said, I could see the Dogs absolutely getting a tag team title match at Forbidden Door because of the New Japan connection. But the Roosh thing is happening next week. Mark Briscoe, we don't know if that's going to be the planned match for Forbidden Door, if it's going to be Andrade against MJF. I'm hoping the latter there. Yeah. But I would not have MJF immediately defending the championship. People should be lining up and getting themselves right to wrestle him. We just went through 9 title defenses of the World Championship with Darby Allin as the World Champion. We don't need to have MJF defend the championship right out of the gate against somebody who's done nothing to earn it. So stop making your World Championship feel like a mid-card title. We already have a TNT title and a TBS title and an international title and a national title, a continental title. All these titles are defended semi-weekly. The AEW Championship should be held to a much, 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 much higher level, a much higher prestige. So I want to see less of it, and all because WWE isn't having their champions defend the belt on weekly television every single week. That doesn't mean AEW has to do it. That's not a way to differentiate the companies. MJF is in that level of a Roman Reigns and in that level of a Cody Rhodes. He should not be on the show defending the title every week. He should be there every week. He should be doing something and building story, but he shouldn't be defending the championship. So, again, Roosh is great. We're getting that match next week. It more than likely will mean nothing. I don't know what the infatuation is with him getting a championship match. I mean, if you want to feature Roosh, then feature Roosh. Like, he's fucking great. I mean, you slide him right into a national championship or a continental title or an international title. What is he doing being buried on Ring of Honor? Do something with him.
Yeah,
anyway,
Roosh is good.
Roosh is great.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into the rest of this show. There was a lot of explanation, a lot of promo. Pro wrestling really didn't matter on this show. We got 2 tournament matches, and that's really all that mattered. So we're going to get into this tonight. It was another 3-hour block. We had 2 hours of Dynamite and 1 hour of Collision. But we're going to do our best to get you in and out of here and make this a great show tonight. But I got to shout him out first because he... We got a $100 super chat from my guy, effing Raw. Agent 206. Your mission. Cover Dynamite following a pay-per-view with critical thought and strategic wording. Hold all journalists and sickos that glaze the worst parts of this product with effective passion. I hope this allows you to get the new Bond game, It's On Me, OTS for life. Look at this fucking guy. Oh, my goodness.
I want the new Bond game. Can you send that towards me?
What do you know about James Bond, bro?
Bruh. Seriously, I would have murderized you in 007 GoldenEye with the split 4 screen, but you got to look at your screen. Don't look at mine. You got to look at your own screen.
I played GoldenEye so many times, man. I can't even remember how many times I played that.
Love GoldenEye.
That was that's the best Bond game ever, man. Nothing will touch that.
Man. So
Effing
good.
Raw, thank you, man. Triple M says, JD, do I have to drop a 500 bomb for you to play Dark Souls? Brother, I don't give a fuck how much you donate.
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is not, no, I can't. I can't. That's ridiculous.
Not my style.
I mean, I don't mind the game, but I mean, going through that stress of dying and then fucking being backtracked without save, that's tough, man. I can't do that. Anyway, we thank you guys for joining us here on Off the Script. If you guys enjoy this new layout, man, I made this myself. If you guys like this, let me know. If you guys don't like it, let me know. I'll revert back to the old one. But I wanted to do something different, man. We came out of a hot pay-per-view, and I wanted to do something fresh, something new. So let me know what you guys think about that. It's been slow, man. The month of May has been slow. Weather's getting beautiful. Pro wrestling's in the dumps outside Sunday, which was a great Double or Nothing show, but there's nothing interesting. Everybody's watching the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs. Baseball's going into its summer months. Like I said, the summer is here. Nobody gives a fuck about what we're doing, man.
Man.
Nobody cares.
I had to leave my son's baseball game mid-game. First base coach to run home to watch Dynamite.
Bro, why didn't you just tell me you wanted to stay there, man? I would have been fine.
I still had my stream to do as well, man. So and I missed Monday's stream because I was so goddamn tired from Sunday, man. Oh my god. I had to get back and do it, but you're right. You're 100% right, man. The summer is here. There is more interesting things going on outside of watching a screen.
Yeah.
So we got to fight that right about now, man.
Yeah, it's tough. We're all feeling it. So if you guys can support in any way, man, for those that are here, it really goes a long way. This is the toughest stretch for a content creator right now because both AEW and WWE usually go on autopilot mode. And WWE is in autopilot mode till SummerSlam. AEW is going to be in autopilot mode going into All In. So your support is much, much, much needed and much appreciated. So please go and do that if you can. Super chats, t-shirt. You guys know how to support. If either of those things interest you, they are there for you. If not, thumbs up and a comment helps us out just as much, man. So please do that. For my iTunes and Spotify family, again, thank you. I think we were number 16 yesterday on the top 100 pro wrestling podcasts in the United States. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Continue the love and support over there. Leave a rating, leave a comment, all of it. All of it helps us out. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew, Blue Chew Gold, BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Make sure you guys sign up, buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold, and get the third month for free, courtesy of the podcast. That's BlueChew.com, code JD. Go check out all the content on the channel. There's plenty of it. And there is going to be a busy week upcoming, man. After tonight, if there is news tomorrow, you guys know I'll be in the sub boxes. But Friday we'll be live for SmackDown. Saturday we're going to watch El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano, mask versus mask. And then Sunday is Clash in Italy. SmackDown is 2 p.m. on Friday. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. I'll let you guys know how I'm going to go live when I'm going to go live. But yeah, WWE's on the Italy tour, man. Italy.
When is it airing here? SmackDown.
8 o'clock.
Regular time.
8 o'clock for me, 7 o'clock for you, yeah.
Yeah, not everybody has VPNs, man. So you probably stick to your regular time.
I might stick to the regular time, honestly. We'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know. What else we got? Anything? T-shirts? We got videos. What do you got going on? You want to let the fans know anything?
Same. Oh, bro, we are constantly gaining subs, bro. We are on the road to 11K. The way to 11K. So come over and subscribe. We are do Dynamite, we do Raw, we do pay-per-views, and there's gonna be video uploads soon as I can get my goddamn office moved. It's coming soon, so come on over and subscribe to the channel.
There you go. There you go. Let's get into this, man. Again, thank you guys very much. Also, just as a side note, TNT was a banger show last night, so make sure you guys go check that out. Episode 140, 148. We're nearing 150 episodes of TNT. You believe that? It's crazy.
That's a lot, man.
A lot of episodes. A lot of episodes, man. We start things off here with the Jet, Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight's a great wrestler.
Okay, wait a minute.
What happened?
Right under your name,
huh?
You got a nice little to the left of your name. It says host under it. You get a nice little JD, crown there.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you venture to the other side,
it says co-host at Chi-Town Sport.
Very, very fine.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
But then I have a little off the script logo, and I have my own logo. Why is my logo not right there where the off the script mic is?
Email me your logo, and I'll put the logo into the thumbnail or into the layout. I don't have a PNG file of your logo, bro. I didn't even know you had a logo.
Ain't that about it?
This guy's making fucking demands over here. Look at this guy.
This is ridiculous. Get the Kevin Knight and his wrestling abilities. Let's go.
Kevin Knight. He comes on out. Actually, first of all, before we even get to Kevin Knight, I got to address this because this is the second time that AEW's done it. Renee Paquette interviewed Will Ospreay to start the show. This was filmed at the end of Double or Nothing, who said he is over the moon about his win over Samoa Joe and is ready for the next round. The camera followed him into the trainer's room where Kenny Omega was getting treatment because this was after, obviously, Double or Nothing, and he was in the Stadium Stampede match. Omega asked to talk to him about his alliance with the Death Riders. He warned Ospreay that he can't trust them. He says he would do anything for Ospreay and help him realize his dream to be champion. Why didn't you ask me, he said. Ospreay says he's not there every week. Omega says he's lost his chance and he has his own way of going about things. He said it's not just physical, but it's also mental. He says he's not the same guy he used to be, but if they stick together, they can do amazing things. He admitted he got the appeal of the Death Riders as they get the job done and they are serious. He says he wasn't saying not to trust them, but just be careful. Jon Moxley walks on in and he sees Kenny Omega talking to Will Ospreay and he mutters, yeah, that's some good advice. He says all they have is their skeleton. They all have their skeletons, don't we? Omega looked down and then told Ospreay he would leave and do whatever he has to do with the Death Riders. As Omega walked away, Ospreay told him not to give up on his world title dreams. Now, Jesse, this is the second time that they've done this. The first time was at Spring Breakthrough a few weeks ago. This is the second time that Ospreay and Omega have had to sit down in the trainer's room. Now, I am personally hoping that this is nothing more than pep talks. Just like Ospreay is seeking guidance from Jon Moxley and the Death Riders, Ospreay is also getting a pep talk and some guidance from Kenny Omega on the way to All In. With this pay-per-view now that Tony Khan introduced for July called Redemption, and it's in Montreal, Canada, I am very weary about AEW possibly doing Kenny Omega chasing the world title once again to go against MJF, win the world championship, and then take it into Wembley and wrestle Will Ospreay. And this is the beginning planning stages of that happening. But I swear to God, man, I genuinely feel deep in my heart that MJF and Will Ospreay is the match for Wembley. But I feel like they are going in a different direction based on what we see here, we've seen here. What do you think?
Well, why do you think they would stray away from MJF versus us?
Because I feel like Will Ospreay is going to get what he wants this year because this is his hometown, his moment, and his year.
Well, let me follow up with this.
Yeah.
Are you insinuating that AEW does not believe that MJF can carry a main event with Will Ospreay?
No, because he's already done it twice, and two of them were the best matches in AEW history.
Okay. So do you think that maybe MJF could be unavailable?
MJF will be at All In.
Okay. Well, why would they not put on the best possible main event?
Because I feel Ospreay wants Omega because he looks up to Omega. He finds influence in Omega. Omega is his inspiration and his idol. And I feel like they're going to give Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay the main event of Wembley Stadium. And I genuinely feel that, and don't quote me on this, this is just something that I feel personally. I don't think Will Ospreay wants to wrestle MJF. I think he's been there, done that. I think he wants Omega for the world title, and I think they're going to give the world title to Kenny Omega, which would be fucking stupid if they just put it on MJF and then have that be the Wembley main event. That's just what I feel. I hope I'm wrong, because the main event should be MJF versus Will Ospreay.
That's a pretty bold thought for no real reason behind it.
I'll tell you the reason after we get off the air. There's a method to my madness, man.
Bro, it has to be, because you make no goddamn sense.
A little birdie has been in my ear, bro.
You make no sense, right? I mean, if you know something I don't, then maybe it does make sense to
all right,
you.
Here's this without being
makes no sense.
All right, here's this without being a little mysterious. John Alba and Sean Ross Sapp, and I think it was the Matt Men podcast also, Andrew Zarian. I think all three of them have collectively said something about Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, insinuating, not really outright saying it. I think John Alba honestly said flat out, I think the main event for Wembley is going to be Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. He literally said this about a week and a half ago on X. Now, why would he say that? When he's the number one fucking brown noser that there is next to Sean Ross Sapp for AEW, next to Dave Meltzer, all three of them sit in a fucking pod together, 3 peas in a pod. Bro, if he's saying that, don't you think they're tipped off, and don't you think they know something?
I'll say this much. If I had a dime for everything that is said on Twitter that makes absolutely no sense, I'd be a millionaire.
All right.
True or false?
Sure.
Just because it was posted on social media does not make it anything of merit. I'm not trying to demerit what these guys may or may not be saying, but I am trying to say that you can I can get on social media and post right now that Tupac is the president. That doesn't make it true. But so, I mean, did they put any kind of merit behind it? Reasoning?
Yes. Mick Foley took a low blow from MJF 2 days ago.
Right. That's your connection?
You don't think Mick Foley's going to be wrestling a match in AEW?
No, I don't.
Mick Foley's wrestling MJF at All In.
Okay.
That's my prediction. That's my prediction. You don't think that's a logical prediction, bro? You don't think that's feasible in this company?
I think you're a psychopath. But if it happens, I will be the first one. If it happens, I'll be the first one to come back right here and apologize man to man.
Bro, Mick Foley's getting one more match in front of 50,000 people at Wembley Stadium, bro. Watch. That's my prediction.
Because that's the kind of person I am. Right now, you're a psychopath. But if it happens, I will come right back here and say,
Long Island guys, man, in a co-main event for Wembley Stadium. 50,000 people.
No, man. Mick Foley is not doing a wrestling match. Right. No.
All right, we'll see. This is my my take.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
We'll see. Kevin Knight, he came out and he was greeted with "Fuck you, Kevin" chants. Fuck you, Kevin. I would have preferred "Fuck you, Jet." Fuck you, Jet. But you know, Philadelphia's not really the broadest fan base.
It's Philly. Leave him alone.
I know. He says he shouldn't have expected anything less from the Meathead fans. He says he told Darby not to let him and the fans down, but Darby blew it. He says he blew it just like the Sixers did against the Knicks.
Oh.
I mean, you want to be a heater, bro. You want to be a heel, and then just mention the fucking terrible sports team that let you down. He says he decided not to trust the process anymore. He did do what he had to do, he said. He asked who the last person was that MJF looked up at. He says he was the last one who humbled MJF. He says it should have been him in the main event on Sunday, but he had to watch from the bench. Kevin Knight then asked if he looked like a bench player, and fans chanted, yes, yes, yes. Kevin Knight asked if he's a highlight every time he steps into the ring. He says he isn't there just to take part. He's there to take over the whole damn company. He says he put trust in Darby. Kevin Knight then said Darby told him not to waste time, so when he saw he couldn't get the job done, he didn't waste any time, leaving him in a pool of his own blood with the Jet standing over him. Speedball Mike Bailey comes on out. What he was wearing, that's a completely different story. I don't know.
Oh my God.
What was he wearing? What was he wearing, Jesse? Do you want to describe to the chat?
Bro, it looked like he was wearing a suit that Mr. Miyagi would wear as he was chaperoning Danielson to his first prom.
Oh my God, man.
What the?
I don't know where Speedball's shopping, man, but it ain't fucking, it ain't Joseph A. Bank, I'll tell you that, or wherever you guys shop nowadays.
Trash, bro. What
Salvatore Ferragamo, where is he shopping? He ain't shopping there.
Oh, so bad.
Indochino, where's he shopping? I don't know.
We're not gonna like the way you look shopping here. I know that. No.
Oh my God, man.
That was trash. He upstaged Kevin Knight's heel run by wearing this ridiculous ass tan gi suits or what was no socks in these weird polka dot shoes.
MK Panty says he's shopping with Seth Rollins.
Man. No.
Bobby in the chat says he was wearing a poncho. Oh my God.
Who let him pass Gorilla looking like that, man?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. He comes on out. He says, I hear what you're saying. He says he is ambitious, and that's best. That's both his best and worst quality. He said he is impatient, and he gets ahead of himself, and he makes mistakes. He says what he did to Darby was a mistake. He said he can fix it if he apologizes. We can make things right, Speedball says. He wants Kevin Knight to apologize, but to whom? Who do you want Kevin Knight to apologize to? You want Kevin Knight to apologize to you? You want Kevin Knight to apologize to Darby? The fans? Why didn't he elaborate on who he wanted Kevin Knight to apologize to?
I didn't think that far into it, man.
Well, you got to listen to what he has to say, man. He's already wearing a fucking poncho out there. I mean, you got to dissect this guy's words.
And that's what I was focused on. What the fuck was he wearing? What was he wearing?
I don't know. So he offered Kevin Knight a handshake. Fans chanted, say you're sorry. Kevin Knight looked at Speedball's hand, paused, walked past him, turned around, and hit him with the microphone square in the head. And that's the way he left it. That was the end of the segment. He left Speedball lying after knocking him out with the microphone. Any thoughts, Jesse, on Kevin Knight now officially a heel?
Well, I got a couple more thoughts on it, but we haven't gotten to that part of the show yet. But so far, we expected Kevin Knight to feud with Speedball. It made the most sense.
Yes.
I expected Darby to not be here because, recovering or whatever the case may be. But now they need to be a little bit careful because I don't want them to sink Kevin Knight so far down the card so that when Darby comes back to feud with Kevin Knight, Darby is now feuding with someone that they have moved way down the card because he needs to get his revenge for what happened at Double or Nothing. So you need to keep Kevin Knight strong. The first course of action should be Speedball Mike Bailey. It makes the most sense. After that, we need to keep him in the upper echelon of who he's facing. I see they had him face off with Kyle Fletcher. They had him face off with MJF. Two heels. Don't understand that part, but it's fine. It's fine. That means they have plans for Kevin Knight that don't involve people who are way further down on the card. So we'll stay with where we are.
I think this is going to be better for Kevin Knight. I saw some people on social media within the last 48 hours saying that it should have been Speedball being a heel. No, I don't think Speedball has the capability to be a heel at all. I don't want to see that at all. Kevin Knight, you know, he's going to be, I hate comparing because there really is no comparison between the two. Kevin Knight is definitely a building block for Tony Khan. You see the amount of effort Tony Khan has put into Kevin Knight, has booked Kevin Knight as a big guy. You know, he is going to be their version of Trick Williams. And he is that type of guy. That's what they're doing.
He's not charismatic enough.
No, he's not. No, that's where it falls short. Kevin Knight is a better wrestler, but Trick Williams is a face of the company guy. I don't know if Kevin Knight is a face of the company guy. Not with this roster. Not yet, anyway. Give him 5 years, maybe. Who knows? It'll be him and Fletcher. I don't know. But I think he's going to channel somewhat of his real persona. Some people are saying that he doesn't have it in him. I saw Ibu. I think Ibu's kind of in with these guys because he rubs elbows with them. So I don't know who he doesn't talk to. But Kevin Knight, you know, he thinks that Kevin Knight is just a true baby face and he's going to be pretending to play a heel and it's not going to work out. I see it the other way. I think Kevin Knight actually is going to be a better heel and speak as a heel better than he would a babyface. I think
he already looks better.
Yeah, there's just something easier that comes with being a fucking prick. You know? You got to try too hard. You got to try too hard to be a babyface and to win these people over. You got to do the bare minimum to fucking have these people hate you. And that's exactly what Kevin Knight's going to really ride. I think that's going to be too easy for him.
No, I agree. It already feels like Kevin Knight is trying too hard as a heel. I mean, next time I would just pull back a little bit. You know, I mean, I see where he's going, and it all makes sense, but don't make it look so forced.
Yeah,
you want to look like you're heel because you genuinely feel that you are in the right here and that you were wronged. And the things should be going the way that you say that there should be going because you are trying to explain to them why it should be. It shouldn't be as forced as like, I'm just going to say things that heels say to get heel heat. You're going to come off as forced so fast like that. Just be genuine. Just be a little bit of a prick behind it and you'll work out just fine.
We will see. Kevin Knight and Speedball is on the horizon. When they do it, I don't know. But Forbidden Door's coming up, and then we have Redemption. I doubt they wait 2 months to give us a match between these two. I think we'll see either a match at Forbidden Door or maybe a series of matches because Speedball and Kevin Knight at Redemption in Canada, where Mike Bailey is Canadian, I think that kind of sets the stage perfectly there. We'll see. Maybe he wins the TNT title there. We'll see what happens.
You know, like someone in the chat just said, he needs to stay away from doing your local sports teams suck shit. Perfect example. You know what I'm saying? If that's not something that you would have normally come out and done before, plus you should already be so focused on your agenda as to why you're doing this. You don't have time to be talking about why the Eagles suck and things like that. You know, don't do just the low-hanging fruit heel shit. Just stick to your guns and be yourself, but you're upset. You're angry. If you have kids at home, I mean, the perfect thing to do is react as if your kids did something they shouldn't have done. You're upset, you're angry, but you're not going to go off the goddamn guardrails because they, you know, spilled some milk, you know, but stay focused on why you turn the heel. I think it'll work out for them.
We'll see. Kevin Knight is now a heel, and he's going to continue building upon that character in the weeks to come. We got our opening match. Chris Jericho versus Ricochet. Everyone is banned from ringside. After Stadium Stampede, Jesse, did you have any interest in seeing another Chris Jericho and Ricochet one-on-one match here on Dynamite?
I didn't think we'd be getting it. I don't know why we're getting it. I mean, I didn't hate it. I just don't understand why we're getting it on TV again.
Well, I mean, who was pinned at the Stadium Stampede? Was it no, it wasn't totally. It was Bishop Khan who took a seven-way super kick and they pinned him. So yeah, Ricochet wasn't pinned, so I guess he wanted revenge for losing Stadium Stampede. And here we are. This was fine. It was not better than their pay-per-view match back at Revolution or whenever. Or was it Dynasty they wrestled? The last time that they wrestled was on pay-per-view. It was not better than their pay-per-view match. So this went 13 minutes, and Jericho wins off of a lion salt. He hit a Judas effect. Instead of going for the pin off the Judas effect, he went for a lion salt, which Ricochet has been stealing and calling the Rico salt.
Yeah.
So he hits a lion salt, and he didn't really hit it all that well. He was way off base. He was, it was not a good one. He hasn't botched it yet. This was the first of the lion salt kind of miscues. But he ends up winning Jesse in 13 minutes. At the end of the match, it looks like we got Jericho's next opponent in Tommaso Ciampa. Out of nowhere, he came and attacked from behind on Chris Jericho, took him down with a running knee, and he put the boots to Jericho and basically stomped a mud hole in him. And then he did the old school Chris Jericho Lionheart flex over Chris Jericho's fallen body. Any thoughts on Tommaso Ciampa being set up for Jericho's next feud?
I like this feud.
I do too.
I like this feud. I like what they want to do with Ciampa, and I like that they have Jericho out there to do it, because it gets no better than that. They want to move Ciampa up that heel ladder a little bit, and Jericho is one of the best to ever do it as far as getting someone over that they want to get over like that. So I do like the choice. I like the feud, and this is what Jericho is here for. He is he's here to help get others over at this stage, and Ciampa can use that rub. So I like the pick here.
Yeah, someone in the chat said this was a rubber match. I guess if you want to look at it that way, Ricochet beats Jericho at the pay-per-view, and then Jericho's team won Stadium Stampede. And then Jericho got his win back over Ricochet here on Dynamite. So they are as even could be. 50-50 booking rears its ugly head.
I will say, though, I think it's time for Ricochet, whether you hate him or not. I mean, I don't care at this point. They clearly have an invested interest in him. At this point, it's time for Ricochet to stop losing so much so they can move him up the ladder.
Well, first of all, they need to split him away from this fucking terrible group that he's in.
100% yes.
Get him out of there. He's a fucking geek. Throwing up the three. Like, bro, get away from these guys, please.
Get him away, and you got a certified main event heel right there. And this guy, I mean, people hate him, and he's great at what he does in the ring. This is perfect. People can hate him, and when you hate somebody in pro wrestling and they are really good bell to bell, you got a phenomenal heel in your hands. If people hate him and he sucks, then they probably hate him for the wrong. You got to get him out of here because he sucks.
Yeah,
this guy does not suck. Promos need some help, but I mean, I think his promos are beyond. Oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. They just moved along to like the cringe territory, which can be grouped into with him just being a heel. He's fine. They need to have him win some more. They need to give him some credibility behind him working in the ring because he's really good. But he's going to be a mid-card heel for life if you keep having them job out, man. You got to give the guy some credibility with some wins.
First of all, Ricochet needs to speak in sound bites. His promos are way too long, and they're very long-winded. He doesn't need to speak as long because he's not a very good speaker at all. And as far as Jericho goes with this Ciampa feud, we don't really know why they haven't had any prior crossing of paths before. So hopefully we get some sort of explanation as to why Tommaso Ciampa is all of a sudden now targeting Chris Jericho. So if you give me a good explanation, and I love Ciampa, Jesse loves Ciampa, and then you have Ciampa work with Jericho, I think that's the making of a great feud. Did anyone get over here, Jesse? Did Ricochet feel a little bit more important working with Chris Jericho and vice versa, or did everybody just come out the same way before we even started?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't think the outcome was in anybody's favor. Jericho did not need to go over Ricochet, and Ricochet did need the W. So I think this had a negative effect on what they wanted to do.
There you go. We'll see what happens with Jericho and Ciampa. Just give me a reason why, and we'll just take it from there. Yeah. Andrade El Idolo, he was backstage. He said, now that the stupid Stadium Stampede is over, which you could have told last week by his body language, he did not want to be in this match. So him saying it's stupid is a shoot. Now he can focus on winning the world title and beating MJF. Does MJF think he's better than Andrade? How you know? Well, we will know if you put them in the ring together.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen at Forbidden Door, Tony. Let's do it.
They know. I mean, as people are trying to handpick MJF's opponents, I don't necessarily want to see Andrade lose a world title match right away. I really don't.
Well, he's not winning the world. He's not winning the world title anyway.
Yeah, so someone needs to lose to MJF. I get it, but that's why when we picked opponents like Roosh or Mark Briscoe, people are like, why are we getting these guys? Because somebody has to lose to MJF. Somebody.
We'll see. Forbidden Door would be a great place to do that. We got a 4-way Superstation showcase. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Roosh, Brian Cage, Leo Rush, and Orange Cassidy in a 4-way match. Jesse, any thoughts?
I got some questions, but we got to get to the ending first, though.
My question is, why is Leo Rush on Dynamite, but we put Will Ospreay on Collision? What I want to know. Any thoughts there?
I don't know what Ospreay did on Collision.
He teamed with the Death Riders against the Rascals.
Oh, my God.
Why wasn't that match on Dynamite instead? Honestly.
They want people to stay for a Collision.
They never do. It's a failed endeavor.
Was the crowd empty? I don't know.
I don't know. They had like 3,500 people.
Yeah, I really don't know at all. But they say some of the bigger names for Collision because they want people to stay for the third hour of the TV taping.
I know. That's the reason. We'll pick it up at the end here because this clearly did not need to be on the show. This is as collision could get. So Cassidy leapt through the ropes and he landed a tornado DDT at ringside. Rocky Romero and Lance Archer of the Don Callis family, they all walked up to Orange Cassidy on the outside. Archer blocked a Cassidy attempt at an orange punch. Cassidy came back and landed it anyway. All of a sudden, Jake Doyle shows up.
Whoa.
Who?
Wow.
Oh, Jake something. Oh, Doyle rules. Jake Doyle showed up and punched Cassidy. Roderick Strong came to ringside for the save. Everyone fought to the back except for Leo and Roosh. Leo caught Roosh with a springboard stunner and then a spear for a 2. Rush leapt off the top rope, but Roosh, this is very confusing, bear with me. Leo leapt off the top rope, but Roosh moved and then went for Leo at ringside. So he pulled out a cable and wrapped it around Leo's neck. Roosh stomped away at Rush. Taz said Leo is half human and kind of a freak. He then landed a running drop kick in the corner and scored a 3 count over the Blackheart, Leo Rush, in 13 minutes. So Roosh wins this one, Jesse. I guess this is now why he earned a championship opportunity at MJF.
Well, so now this was a money match, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah, so this was
a money match, for fictional monies.
Apparently, there was money on the line in this match.
Why didn't we see the monies?
I know, but whatever. But since
are we still doing money matches? Are we fucking kidding me?
Apparently. So, oh my God, why not? Because what happened here is Roosh won, and they took that and parlayed it into, okay, well, you won this match, so I'll give you a title match next week. Okay, fine. But why not, instead of the other 3 that were in this match, how about we just include top contenders and just make it for MJF's next opponent next week? Simple.
Jesse, you're speaking too logically, bro. Clearly, that would have been something a normal human being with a functioning brain would have done.
If you already knew that you were going to have Roosh challenge MJF next week and have that challenge be predicated off of MJF saying, oh, well, you won and this, that, so I'll give you a shot next week. Oh, backtrack. Put 4 guys in who has been winning lately, explain that they have been winning lately, so they were included in this fatal 4-way for the number 1 contendership to MJF next week. Simple. Easy. Makes sense.
I mean, you aren't wrong. I mean, you could have put Roosh in there. You could have put Briscoe in there. You could have put Andrade in there, right? And maybe one other guy.
I'll go one further. I would have included everybody who had a match tonight. If you won your match tonight, then you qualified for the Fatal 4-Way later tonight. And the winner of the Fatal 4-Way will then get a title shot next week. Every match now has meaning behind it.
This is what should have been done, and they didn't do that. They opted to give you Orange Cassidy, who's not a world title guy. They opted to give you Leo Rush, who is barely on fucking television. And then they wanted to give you fucking Jake Doyle's return, as if this is some big deal. So Jake Doyle's back. Mark Davis, who was a tag team with Jake Doyle before he got hurt, is now the national champion and is doing his own thing as a single and got some momentum as a single. So now are you going to put him back as a tag team with Doyle? Bro, there's way too many guys, and there's a lot of guys with really nothing going on. There's a lot of moving parts. Well, Bruce is getting the title match next week. We'll talk about that in just a second because MJF is up next. Renee interviewed MJF. He began to speak. Kevin Knight walked up to him. MJF says he's glad to see him as he wanted to thank him for what he did to Darby. He said he wanted to show respect to the biggest star in the company. He said it meant a lot to him, and he has a bright future. So he was about to leave, but then Knight told him not to be confused. He said he did it because Darby let him down. He said one day he will beat him for the AEW title. MJF said, goals are good, Kev. See you around. Kyle Fletcher walked up to Kevin Knight after MJF turned and left. He admired the TNT belt. Don Callis said Knight was looking good and told him if he wants to get serious about winning 2 belts, come talk to the family. So this guy already turns heel, Jesse, and Don Callis is already making aspirations of adding another family member.
So Kevin Knight getting a manager is actually a good idea. That being said, not the fucking Don Callis family, though. He will get lost in the shuffle. He'll get nothing as far as any advancement in his booking. So that needs to cease. You put him in the Don Callis family, he is just going to fall to the wayside just like everybody else who's not Kyle Fletcher or Takeshita or Okada. That's it. That's going to be it for him. But a manager for him is not the worst idea ever. He could probably benefit from a solid mouthpiece. Not the Don Callis family, though. Please don't put him in there. That's going to be a death wish. He is. That's it. His run is over if you put him in a Don Callis family.
Well, I mean, he's standing on his own now as the TNT champion. He joins the Don Callis family. He's already slotted at probably a number 4 behind Andrade.
Yep.
And ahead of him is Okada, Fletcher, and Andrade.
Don't do that. Find somebody else to be his mouthpiece. Bring someone fresh in. Someone with the gift of gab. Someone with some experience, with some notoriety, something. But if you put him in the Don Callis family, Kevin Knight is done.
You know, this is never mind the Don Callis family. You know, if Tony Khan is fucking serious about Kevin Knight, you're going to make MVP his manager. Seriously.
Yeah. Put him in the Hurt Syndicate. That'll work.
Put him in the Hurt Syndicate, get him with MVP, and add him into the Hurt Syndicate. That's all you got to do.
Perfect. That works. Absolutely perfectly
I would
fine
have said Stokely, but I think MVP for this role. Stokely's great, but I think MVP for this particular role will probably benefit Kevin Knight more.
Tease it a little bit.
Yeah. Have
Kevin Knight in the back doing a interview with Renee, and then have MVP just peeping him out, checking him out, talking to Lashley, talking to Sheldon, and thinking about it. Leave that's it. That's it for the whole week.
Yep.
Next week, something else. Just we're thinking about it. We're peeping them out. Kevin Knight's in a match. All of a sudden, someone from the Hurt Syndicate is like in the background, just checking it out. Put the Easter eggs out there. Let everybody on social media say, that's right, Kevin Knight in the Hurt Syndicate would be fucking awesome. Let it breathe for a little bit, and then all of a sudden pull the trigger on it when it's appropriate down the road. Make it fun. It'd be great.
Mouthpiece is not a bad idea.
Yep.
Renee's backstage with Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. Hayter said next time she will win the title. She said she will face the wild card and prevail. She said she will prove she is part of the conversation on who is the best in the world. Darling Osprey, my darling Will is chasing the Wembley dream, and so am I. She said her whole heart is in this. Hayter said one way or another, the birds are going to come out on top. I don't know who this wild card is. Apparently, we're going to find out next week because the match with Windsor and the wild card is taking place next week in Richmond, Virginia. I don't know if it's Mercedes. We've already talked about this on Sunday. We talked about this on Tuesday last night with the Solid Monster. If it was Mercedes, then they wouldn't have changed the match from Alex Windsor and the wild card on the pay-per-view to Athena and Mina. Because if they want the Mercedes to be the wild card, I think the pay-per-view would have been the best place to do that. They're not going to do it in Richmond, Virginia next week on Dynamite in front of 2,000 people. So what I'm guessing is, Jesse, it's probably going to be somebody that Alex Windsor can beat. Or, from this promo, I kind of got a feeling, but it might not end up being this. But maybe it's Jamie Hayter. And maybe the birds brawl it out to see who's best, and then Alex Windsor wins, and she goes on to the semifinals.
It could be. I don't think they're in the position to want to be breaking up women's tag teams since they're trying to build that division.
No.
You know. So I don't know about that. If they can do that without breaking up the team, then it will work. But it feels like they want to try to give this tag team division some legitimacy outside of having 3 teams total. Yeah, that's why we got the squash match we got with TJ, because they're trying to build a women's tag team division. So I don't know if they would want to break these guys up. They're trying to establish them as a tag team as well. Also, going back to Kevin Knight, this fucking Hurt Syndicate thing works so well for him.
The only thing that don't work, I don't want to cut you off, but the only thing that don't work is that they're baby faces.
Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah.
Oh, they're fucking tweeners all the way, man. They can easily swap that. Yeah, they're all the way tweeners, man.
Yeah, well, they just competed with Jericho, so.
They remember you can hire these guys for money. They'll work for whoever's looking paying them. This business.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
True.
But if you put him with them and then they become a team, trios titles on the Hurt Syndicate would make Kevin Knight Kevin 2 belts, like he alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
Who is even the trios champions right now?
The conglomeration. Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Orange Cassidy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I like MVP along with Kevin Knight. I think that works.
Yeah, that does work.
And they could make it work. Even though they are tweeners, I guess that would be an easy fix. But, you know, people like chanting, "We hurt people. We hurt people." You know.
They do that. They do. I mean, but if they coming out and they're doing business for money, they could be heel one week, baby face the next. So, and it's a cheat code if you want to get this Kevin Knight heel turn over. Putting them with MVP, Lashley, and Benjamin would instantly make him likable. So,
Justin Roberts introduced MJF. 3-time celebration coming up. MJF's out there looking fancy. He insulted the crowd and then said, in all of history, dating back to the late 1800s, only 8 men have won the world championship 3 times by the age of 30. He says they'll be writing about him in the history books and talking about him until the sun explodes. He told fans he hoped they realized how fortunate they were to see his greatness in real time. And we really are, man. That's a shoot. You don't get a talent like this to come around all that often. This is, if he does defect at some point in his career, he is the next WrestleMania main event for years to come. Years. But he's also said that the allure of not going to WWE and be the greatest to ever do it, to not join WWE, is also very enticing. But they all eventually end up going.
He can do it, though. It's possible.
He could.
And you are right. But either way, whether he stays here to do it or goes over there to do it, either way, he still has to finish that story. And it's not a foregone conclusion. Injuries can happen.
Yep.
Things can happen. But as it looks right now, he's not wrong. You're right. That's a shoot, man.
I don't know how much money WWE would be willing to offer him, but I know it's not going to be more than Tony Khan. So I know MJF is very money driven, but MJF is also very legacy driven. He's going to want to enhance his legacy. He's already done everything he could in AEW. How much of that is going to maintain his happiness, and when is he going to get bored, if he's going to get bored? Only
Tony
time will
Khan
tell.
is willing to offer that man far more.
Bro, Tony Khan's going to offer him half the fucking company to be co-owners of the company to keep him.
TKO will never match Tony Khan's offer. If Triple H had his way, he would. Triple H understands the talent in MJF, but he does not have the ability to match what Tony Khan will offer MJF.
No, I doubt they even come close.
Nope.
He goes on to say, he said, they are living in the greatest era because it's all about me. He says he is the most complete professional wrestler in the world and a generational talent. He said, now the fans have to do the right thing. He extended his arms and confetti dropped from the rafters, and a big flag that had MJF's name on it that looked like his scarf came down from the rafters. Mark Briscoe's music played and Briscoe walked out. MJF insisted they cut the music. Who the hell do you think you are, Mark Briscoe? Briscoe told MJF he sticks out like a sore thumb because you don't belong here. And he asked for a title match. He continued to say, are you going to continue being a soft little bitch, or are you going to man up? MJF said, no. He says he wasn't saying no because he despicably pulled his brand new flag down, but because he's the only person who seems to understand that AEW isn't just a sport, it's a business. He says it's bad enough an emo freak sniffed the AEW World title, and it's crazy to imagine Briscoe as the world champion. He says he would put AEW out of business. There are levels to this, and a hillbilly, white trash redneck like Mark Briscoe is nowhere near the level of the devil. He walked out. He waved goodbye. Roosh all of a sudden walks out and walked up to MJF and said, Briscoe, the funny thing about Mark Briscoe, says Roosh, is that he's a chicken farmer. But MJF is a chicken shit. And then fans chanted chicken shit. Roosh then said, if you mess with the bull, you get the horns. MJF told Roosh that despite how rude he was, Roosh has earned a title shot. By doing what? I don't know. I guess winning the Superstation Showdown is all that's needed. He says he even has a dumb little catchphrase that the schmucks seem to like. And he's definitely more marketable than Briscoe with a nice head of hair and a good physique. MJF asked Roosh if he wanted a title shot tonight. Roosh got excited. And then MJF said, psych. Next week, I'll defend the title against you. He said the bull is about to lock horns with the devil. Okie dokie.
There you go.
Match made. What he's done to earn a title shot? I guess the Superstation Showdown was all that was needed. Where Mark Briscoe fits into this, I have no fucking clue, because Mark Briscoe came out at the end of the show after Kyle Fletcher gave his explanation and was standing side by side with the conglomeration to battle the Don Callis family.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't know. It's either one or the other. Which is it?
But Roosh versus MJF. If these guys had a blood feud, if these guys had something that was heated, something that's been building for weeks, and you gave these guys a pay-per-view main event, Roosh and MJF could tear the house down in an Iron Man match. They could go for an hour, bro. They would murder.
Well, the last time that MJF wrestled Roosh was on Dynamite 246 back in June. It was June 19th, 2024. So almost 2 years ago to the day.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
It's like Tony Khan. Tony Khan's a master of numbers, man. He's an analytical guy. He's like, who did MJF wrestle 2 years ago back in June on this very day? Oh, it's Roosh. We'll just run it back.
Back.
You know?
We could be getting a triple threat. I just don't see how Mark Briscoe factors into this match, though.
I don't know. He did give Roosh a look like, what the fuck?
All
You
right.
know? So yeah, Roosh and MJF wrestled 2 years ago. The time that they wrestled before that was a casino ladder match. MJF won a ladder match against Andrade, Claudio, Dante Martin, Penta, Rey Fenix, Roosh, and Wheeler Yuta. That was at All Out 2022. I think that was when he came out as the Masked Devil, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Maybe. Remember that?
maybe. I do remember that. I forget who was against them.
Stokely was with them, I think. Was that it? Maybe?
I don't remember.
I don't know. A very long time ago when things were actually on the up and up. But we move on here. So Roosh and MJF is signed for next week. We get Jack Perry. He's speaking while standing on his bus while Luchasaurus is driving it with one arm, as his arm is still in a sling. He says this could be the start of Jack Perry's world tour as world champion. Luchasaurus slammed on the brakes, pointed outside. Perry says he wasn't going to do it. What it was him running up the stairs, the steps of Rocky Balboa, while Luchasaurus wanting him to eat raw eggs. He did not partake in the raw eggs, and Luchasaurus ate the raw eggs. But Jack Perry ran the Balboa steps.
You ever had raw eggs?
No, I actually turned away because I think it's fucking disgusting, though I love eggs.
Yeah, same. Lots of cholesterol.
Yeah, but they're healthy. It's a good healthy for you.
Yeah.
Brody King. He went one-on-one with Claudio Castagnoli. This is a quarterfinal match. On the right side of the bracket, the winner would get Swerve Strickland in the semifinals. This is the Owen Hart Cup tournament. We got Brody King winning in 12 minutes here. This was fun. I mean, there was nothing overly exciting about it. Yeah. But you got two very good in-ring guys here. Brody, he absorbed a lift and drop uppercut and hit a monstrous lariat on Claudio for the win. So we're getting Brody and Swerve, Jesse, and this was a rematch from the last time Swerve was on pay-per-view. He beat Brody. Now it's official. We got Brody and Swerve in the semifinals. Are we going Swerve or are we going Brody for the upset here? Because I saw some people saying that they feel Brody could advance to the finals and wrestle Will Ospreay.
So I don't think you can really pick a bad winner out of this match.
No.
It's kind of one of those. It kind of works either way. Again, they have not been doing much of anything with Swerve. His win, the last win he got was the biggest thing he has done as of late. And Brody King is someone that I personally would love to see pushed a little bit higher up the card and done a little bit more with. But Swerve is still Swerve. As long as the match is good, I genuinely don't think you can pick a bad winner between these two.
No, I'm still going Swerve. I think Swerve and Ospreay for Forbidden Door is clearly the ultimate match, and it's a take on what they did 2 years ago, which was just a tremendous main event for the AEW World title. And I do think with Swerve going over Ospreay 2 years ago, I think Ospreay gets his win back. And I do think that Brody, if you're going to put him in the final, I don't think it's going to make Forbidden Door, nothing against Brody, I don't think it's going to make Forbidden Door as good as it could be. So I think we go Swerve and Ospreay, and I think Ospreay obviously goes on to Wembley and becomes the #1 contender for the AEW World title.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to see Brodito back together. I think with the tag team division going to be at maximum strength in just a couple of months, I think Brodito would fit right into that, man. They ain't doing anything with Brody. They've shown you that they only want to push Brody to a certain extent. And Bandito, I think he needs to be on the show. Him wasting away in Ring of Honor is just a waste of his raw talent. Brodito mixing it up with FTR and the New Day and the Motor City Machine Guns, bro, when they come on in, I mean, that division's going to be fucking crazy.
You might be right, man. I mean, I'm not a big Brodito fan. I would love to see Brody pushed as a singles guy, but I can't disagree with you. I mean, clearly they're not trying to do that. So if you're not going to do that, then fine, put him back with Bandito.
Adam Copeland, him and Christian Cage, they are out there as the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. So fans are out there saying, you deserve it to both of these guys. Christian said, Philadelphia, sit down and shut your mouths. And Copeland said, whoa, what are you doing? Copeland told him not to say that. Christian then asked, what did I say that was so wrong? It's not like I banged any of their mothers. Actually, maybe I did.
Maybe I did.
Copeland said, well, the 90s were pretty crazy, I'll say that.
Oh, I love this guy so much, man.
Christian is fucking great.
He's so good right now. He's so good, bro. Love it.
Christian said FTR are watching at home with their faces on their TV screens, wondering what he's going to say. He said, without a shadow of a doubt, they are the toughest and best tag team they've ever shared the ring with and brought out the best in them. You know, that might be true, but, I mean, that's quite the statement to make when they shared the ring, Jesse, with some fucking legendary tag teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
They have. That was a pretty bold statement.
pretty bold statement by Mr. Christian Cage here. Copeland said that for the first time in 25 years, they were going to do something they have not done. The 5-second pose. Christian said, I'm not going to do that. Copeland asked, well, why not? And then he asked the fans if they want to see a 5-second pose, and we got a 5-second pose chant. Christian said they don't even make flash photography anymore. Copeland said, well, that's where you're wrong. So he goes under the ring. He pulls out a black sack from underneath the ring. He emptied it. And apparently he said that he's been buying all these. He bought all these up many, 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 many years ago for this very moment. And he dumped out, Jesse, 25 disposable cameras. He explained to the fans how these things work because it's a dead technology. Excalibur had to explain that when these things were back in circulation, that you would take these to a drug store or a thrift store and get the photos, you know, I guess, pulled out of the camera, and then you had to go about it the long way. They just didn't sit on a mobile device. So he hands these to the fans in the front row. We got cameramen helping him out because he was running all over the place, clearly out of breath. All of a sudden, before they started doing it, Jesse, they were about to do the 5-second pose. David Finlay and Clark Connors ran in and attacked them from behind. They had a shillelagh. They knocked Copeland out and then put Christian's arm underneath the ring step. And then Clark Connors landed a running double stomp on top of the stairs, crushing Christian's arm under the stairs. Connors and Finlay then mocked the 5-second pose. Excalibur called it disgusting. And apparently they are now targeting the AEW tag team titles.
I was so pissed.
You wanted to see a 5-second pose.
I wanted my 5-second pose.
Well, you'll get it after they beat the Dogs in this tag team title combat.
I was so mad, man.
Not a fan of the Dogs. Not a fan of them. I think what they've done since they've joined AEW has been utterly boring. But like Jesse said, they need teams to beat, does Copeland and Christian. And the New Japan tie-in at Forbidden Door makes the match, I guess, the best case scenario before we move on to whatever they do next in Montreal, whomever that may be against. But I am not excited about that. I hate Forbidden Door season, bro. I really do.
Patience, people. I mean, they got time to burn. They got time to kill. They can't just, I mean, you jump straight to the end, then what? Patience.
Prince Nana, he was with Swerve backstage. Nana bragged about what they did to Bandito. Bandito and Swerve had a very, very good match at the pay-per-view. Again, one of the highlights of the entire show on Sunday nights. Swerve needs to get back to business, though. He said if Brody wants to answer the call, Swerve has plans to advance to Wembley. Swerve says he has a soft spot in his heart for Brody because he's the one who broke him out in the industry. He says he isn't sure what Bandito's condition is at this point. He said one thing he learned about making money is conflict makes money. He says he could make a lot of money with Brody. Nana then asked, whose house? Are we going to see a Swerve and Brody connection? I don't know. Brody turning on Bandito? I hope not.
Nah.
Just let's get Brodito back together. I think that's the best case scenario here.
I mean, Bandito cannot go heel.
No.
Brody can go heel.
Yes.
Not Bandito.
Well, you know, AEW is lucky those ice chants die down, huh? That's not even a thing
They
anymore.
are very lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. I mean, I was just thinking about it now, man. Holy shit, that just fucking disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yep.
Ty Mello and Anna Jay. Tag team match here against Ava Everett and Allie Catch. TJ wins in 1 minute. Any thoughts, Jesse, on this 1 minute thrilling combat here for the tag team division?
You could have put this shit on Collision.
Well, I mean, they could have. Could have. I thought Anna Jay had a contract coming up. What do they do? What are they still doing pushing this tag team?
Maybe she resigned.
Maybe she resigned, or maybe the Divine Dominion need teams to feast on, and they feel like they have nobody else. You know, I'm still wondering where this flourishing, unbelievable women's tag team division is. Remember when everybody asked for tag team titles, Jesse? I can't name one fucking team outside these two teams.
No, exactly. But people saw shiny titles and they had to, we need these for the women.
Half the tournament didn't even consist of actual teams. Megan Bain was in the tournament and she had to fill in for, who filled in for her? What's her name? From the Death Riders. Marina Shafir.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm also glad that they stopped putting Marina Shafir in matches.
Yeah, that was a thing. Apparently, that was a fad in the company.
Yeah. Stop doing that, please. She was great at what she does, and they're back to doing that. Good.
Speedball cut a promo backstage. He said Kevin Knight shows their path, and they can walk it on opposite sides now. He challenged him to a match. When, where, nobody knows. Okay, thank you for coming, Speedball. In the main event, this was the main event of this unbelievable, thrilling edition of Dynamite. Mark Davis versus Jack Perry. This is the quarterfinal match for the men's Owen. And this was the main event of Dynamite. This went 17 minutes. Bro, Okada and Takeshita went 18 minutes at the pay-per-view. This did not need to go 17 minutes. Man, I swear to God, Mark Davis he's got a nice string of momentum. Jack Perry's not the worst wrestler on the planet. I'm actually a fan of Jack Perry's.
It's good.
But bro, this needed to maybe go half the time that it was given. Yes. Seriously.
And it didn't need the main event either.
It didn't need the main event, no. I don't know why they didn't have a proper main event on this show, to be quite honest with you. So we come back from the commercial break. Perry rallied from behind. He ate a pile driver from Mark Davis, Dunkzilla, after Davis kicked out of some big time. Well, actually, Perry delivered the pile driver to Davis. Davis kicked out of Perry's pile driver. Perry applied the snare trap. Davis reached the bottom rope to force a break on the submission. Davis landed a running lariat for a 2 count. Perry and Davis exchanged chops in the corner. Davis then climbed to the top turnbuckle. Perry set up for a big top rope move. Davis fights out of it, lifted Jack. Perry landed a spinning second rope pile driver for the 1, 2, 3. Mark Davis advances in the Owen to wrestle Will Ospreay. Shocker, I know. We called it 2 weeks ago. So that's the semifinal for Will Ospreay. He wrestles his former United Empire buddy. At the end of this match, Kyle Fletcher comes on out, and he gives everybody the explanation about why he did what he did to Konosuke Takeshita at the pay-per-view. So Renee's in the ring, and Davis and Callis are in the ring, and he says he has something important to say. He says Mark Davis will destroy Will Ospreay in the semifinals next week. He hopes Ospreay is watching. Davis will put him on the shelf permanently. He knows Ospreay better than his own mother and was never the chosen one. Neither was Konosuke Takeshita. The only chosen one of the Don Callis family is Kyle, by God, Fletcher. Fletcher comes on out with Rocky Romero, and he told Don Callis to give him some sugar, and they hug. Now they can talk about the elephant in the room. How could Fletcher come back from such a catastrophic injury in such record time? How can you break your leg in 2 places and come back in 2 months? He actually was believed to completely tear his meniscus, but he was back in 2 months. He says he's the picture-perfect performer, and he's happy to announce that he's a genetic freak and 100% cleared for in-ring competition. There's one more driving factor to come back, and that's to cut the dead weight from the Don Callis family. He said for a year, Fletcher tried to hold the family together while Takeshita tried to drive a wedge between them, always doing what was best for Takeshita. Takeshita never cared about the family or Fletcher, who really wanted to sit atop the wrestling world with him, Proto-Shita, running it all. But it'll never happen because Konosuke Takeshita is a selfish prick. Takeshita's music hits. He comes on out, with the newly won international championship. He holds it in the air, and he's flanked by the conglomeration. So we have Konosuke Takeshita with Mark Briscoe, Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly. But we just saw Kyle Fletcher out there wanting a world title match from MJF. Now he's out there in the main event in the mid-card with the Don Callis family. So they all hit the ring together. Fletcher and Davis and Romero, Don Callis family all bail because they're outnumbered. Takeshita took the mic and said he got his title back, and I want Fletcher. I want you, he says. And that was the way the segment came to a close. And that's the way the proper portion of Dynamite also went off the air. Any thoughts here, Jesse, on this riveting closing contest here?
Well, I didn't see it because Dynamite ended.
Yes.
Oh, darn, I missed it. Oh, shucks. But I don't know. If I was Kyle Fletcher and I woke up to what he wakes up every morning, I would also come back early from an injury.
Sure. Well, maybe just not. I mean, why would you want to leave that and come back from injury? Yeah.
Because she has to go to work.
She does.
So you're gonna stay there without a bro.
Well, I mean, stop gooning. What was your thoughts here on Fletcher and Takeshita?
I don't know, man. I mean,
Forbidden Door. We're looking at Forbidden Door with these guys.
You can kind of take it wherever. I mean, I guess Forbidden Door, but is it really a Forbidden Door? They need to change the theme to Forbidden Door.
Yes, they absolutely have to. Yes.
Yeah, this is not Forbidden Door worthy.
No. Well, I mean, it is, but it's pay-per-view worthy, but it's not for the Forbidden Door.
Not Forbidden Door worthy.
No.
I mean, maybe, look, I mean, how about we just have some New Japan matches that happen on Forbidden Door with their own feuds, and AEW has matches with their own feuds.
Yes, that's the way it really should be.
And then, hey, if you're interested in either side, make sure each match has detailed promo packages put together by the production team.
Yeah.
And, maybe he might be a little bit more interested. It'd be no different than going to an indie show. I would go to a nice little indie show with two very, very highly skilled, wrestlers, and they're just putting on a match that I'm unaware of the story behind it, but I can kind of catch up with this package and just kind of enjoy it for what it is. Swap it. Alternate matches, AEW match, New Japan match, AEW match, New Japan match. You have a third company to put in there, put that one in there as well. And that way you can just build to the pay-per-view like you would any other pay-per-view. Just have a limited number of matches per promotion. It's just an idea, but whatever they do, they got to change something because it's not hidden anymore.
Yeah, the concept is dead. It's not as fun anymore.
No.
And we've been to a Forbidden Door when it was good.
And it was fun. And
yes.
It looked. So, and that's another good point. The live crowd would still pop for a setup like that because it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's badass. It's so much to get into. So it's not like the crowd will be dead and not into it. The crowd's gonna love it. So just change the format a little bit. That's all. And it might get a little catchy.
Adam in the chat says AEW killed the Forbidden Door when they signed all the New Japan talent. They did.
You did. You already have the Forbidden Door.
You own the Forbidden Door. You locked it.
Yep. The Forbidden Door is not forbidden at all. It's just an open door.
No. So that's what it's looking like here. After this week, we got 3 weeks to build for Forbidden Door. So they better get on the ball fast. And if you're going to include matches with CMLL, Stardom, and New Japan, you better get started now. So I think, honestly, with what Jesse had just laid out for the Forbidden Door this year, I think that's the right way to go about it, because now when you start incorporating New Japan talent on TV, you're only going to make the TV worse because nobody gives a shit about these people. Nobody knows who they are. And you're going to rush to get matches together based off what? If you wanted to build for the Forbidden Door and you want Forbidden Door to be taken seriously, this should be a year-long thing. You can't build a Forbidden Door pay-per-view between multiple promotions and build it in 3 weeks. It's not going to hit.
What is the WWE no compete clause end date?
Oh, for the recently released?
Yeah, New Day.
July. After July. It's all July.
Oh, July. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This one.
So that is Dynamite. What happened after this on the Collision portion was the Death Riders and Will Ospreay. This was Jon Moxley, Pac, and Will Ospreay against the Rascals. The Death Riders and Will Ospreay win. Pac gave a nod of respect and a fist bump to Will Ospreay. So he's slowly but surely, Jesse, gaining everybody's respect in the Death Riders.
So I'm just still wondering, does that mean Ospreay is going heel or the Death Riders are going full babyface?
I don't know. I don't know.
Death Riders are, depending on the week, the Death Riders are heel or babyface.
I don't know. Apparently, Samoa Joe's going away again. Backstage with the Ops, Samoa Joe admits that it hasn't been the best week for the organization, the Ops, he means. But that doesn't mean the mission changes. We stand in opposition of anyone in their way, and brings up Hook wrapping up filming his first movie. Shibata owns a hottest chain of parlors, and Bowens will get the opportunity he deserves. Hollywood calls. Joe says he'll be stepping away for a few months and expects them to hold it all down. Joe hugs all of them before giving a nod to Hook, who took over standing in the middle. Bowens almost looked like he was going to, but held back. I'm going to assume here Joe is leaving to go film something Twisted Metal related.
Yeah, next season.
Yeah. So he's going to be gone.
Where is Max Caster?
He's working the indies.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So
go look at his Twitter. He said some indie promotion that he's a part of is now his new home.
So is he done with AEW?
He might have insinuated that he has been quietly either let go, contract run out, or just quietly just kind of stated that he's done.
Work the indies, yeah. Let's see.
Andrade went one-on-one with Ace Austin. Andrade got the W, and Sheeta versus Statlander in a lights-out Philadelphia street fight. I don't know why this needed a street fight, because the feud doesn't really warrant this type of stipulation, because the feud's been fucking cold. But you'd be happy to know, Jesse, that Chris Statlander defeated Hikaru Shida.
Good.
Fantastic.
Good
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Happy to hear it.
Collision next. I guess Collision is happening on Saturday. I don't know why we got a Collision tonight and then Collision on Saturday. The Conglomeration. This is Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly defend the trios titles against Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. We will then get a update on the vacant TBS title that Willow had to relinquish, and Divine Dominion against Ty Mello and Anna Jay in a 5-minute tag team eliminator match.
Okay. All right.
Well, that Collision sounds like why would anybody waste their time watching that?
Okay.
Dynamite next week. MJF defends the world title against Roosh. Kevin Knight versus Speedball. They're booking it next week. Kevin Knight versus Speedball for the TNT title next week. Will Ospreay versus Mark Davis. Men. Owen Hart semifinal. And Alex Windsor versus the wild card, who could be anybody. It could be Shayna Baszler. It could be Charlie, a.k.a. Dakota Kai. It could be Mickie James. It could be Britt Baker. It could be somebody from Ring of Honor that we don't know. I don't know. That's next week. And that is your AEW Dynamite Fallout show from Double or Nothing. Not the worst show in the world, but, man, the questionable creative decisions and direction on this show have me scratching my head tonight.
Yeah, like I said, it's for what I was looking for a follow-up show. I think it did. Again, we have some direction on quite a few of the main, characters and what they were going to be doing, some cleanup from before and what they'll be doing next going forward, which again, unfortunately, is something we didn't necessarily always get after pay-per-views. So that's why I was specifically looking for direction like that. And we did get that. That's why I'm kind of like, okay, it's fine. It works.
Jimmy Jam, there was no Tekla on this show at all. No Tekla.
No Tekla. How does that work?
I don't know. No Tekla on this show. Anyway, we're going to get to you super chats. There are not a lot, but I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. You guys are awesome. We had over 1,500 people in here on a dead Wednesday night. Appreciate you.
Max Caster is still on the active roster page on AEW's
Well, then that means he's still with the company.
Yep.
They would have taken him away.
Yep. You're just allowed to go work indie dates.
Yeah. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, at Chi-Town Smark. Make sure you guys go and check me out. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Jesse is on just Twitter, just on X, and on YouTube at Chi-Town Smark. So please go and check him out. Hit that.
I'm on Instagram too.
Oh, you're on Instagram too. Okay. Well, go follow Jesse. Go follow Jesse on Instagram too. Also, go and hit that thumbs up. We are looking at, let's see, 576 likes. I'd love to get to at least 650. Can we do that? I know there's got to be at least less than 100 of you in here that have not hit the thumbs up. So 650 is the goal. Super chats will remain open. Get them on in. It's the best way to support the show. Also, go buy yourself a t-shirt, man. We got these new, really good t-shirts. Really nice t-shirts. Tuesday Night Titans. Available now. Best of the best. We'll take on Ride the Lightning by Metallica. That is on fourthwall.com. Go check that out. Really appreciate it if you guys go and do that. All proceeds go to myself and the Solo Monster, who supposedly is still live. Surprising. He is still live. I thought he was going to say goodnight after an hour. But go get a Tuesday Night Titans t-shirt, man. Really good stuff there. And tonight's show is sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Make sure you guys use that promo code JD at checkout. You buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold, you get the third month for free. So make sure you guys go and do that. Help me out. Help them out. Great friend and great sponsor right here on the podcast. Super chats. Let's get into it. We got Effin' Raw. Thank you again, brother, for the $100 super chat. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. JD, Jesse, OTS, how's everyone? Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Michael's always here. Every night, Michael's always here. David Rice with a 20. I'm going to go on record and say that, for the most part, I enjoyed tonight's Dynamite. I thought it was the best post-pay-per-view show they've done in a long time. They did lose me with the main event, though. Yeah, that Jack Perry and Mark Davis match did not need to go 17 minutes, bro.
I agree. Didn't need to go that long. I don't know why it was chosen to be the main event.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, yeah, I agree.
We got Anthony with a $20 super chat. What are the odds of Mickie James being the wild card due to the fact that next week is in Richmond, Virginia? There's a good chance. Tony loves to surprise people and get a hometown pop. I mean, if it ends up being Mickie James, that's great. I don't know if she's under contract with WWE or a Legends deal or something like that. I don't know.
I was gonna say, what is she doing these days? What was the last thing she did?
I don't know. Nathan with a 20, no message. Nathan, thank you for your generosity, brother. Really appreciate you being here. I Call World 18 with a 199. Loving the new setup, JD. Fire emoji. Thank you, brother. Glad you guys like it. I'll make some provisions to it over the next week or so.
I sent you the email.
All right, good. I'll do it for next week. Andrew with a 999. N64 or Sega Genesis? N64 all the way.
There we go. Okay.
Or did it matter what console you were playing on? It did. I was not a big Sega guy. I was so much more a Nintendo kid. My first gen console was the PS2, so I have no say in the matter. I'm just curious on what you guys thought. What was your favorite, Jesse, out of the two?
My first console ever was the NES, the Nintendo system, and I was with Nintendo all the way through until Sony has decided to enter the console world, and I never left. I had a PS1 and never looked back. I've also had every Nintendo system though since I've had kids. So the first Wii I've had, and I've had everything from the first Wii on now, just in my household because I have kids. But when Sony started making PlayStations, I've been a PlayStation guy and never looked back.
Yeah. Triple M. What's going on, brother? $2 super chat. Real talk. 007 looks good. Just short game for $70. Yeah, I'll probably wait till it goes on sale, man. A little discount, a little wait on that. Even though the geeks online, well, JD, Resident Evil 9 was only 12 hours and it was $70. Yeah, it's Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil.
Is there online playability with 007?
No.
No?
It's a single player game.
I'm playing Lego Batman.
Also a $70 game.
Also, there's a lot of content in this game.
LT Fool with a $5 super chat. When two vegans get in an argument, is it still called a beef?
Oh.
You know what? For shits and giggles, LT Fool, yeah. Yeah.
Call it a veg.
Don Stoney with a $5 super chat. Tekken or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or Injustice or Soul Calibur or Virtual Fighter or Dead or Alive or Killer Instinct?
I will kick your ass at Street Fighter.
Street Fighter all the way, bro.
Yes.
Thank you, Don. Caden with a 199. Where the fuck was our girl Tekla? I don't know.
We got her at the pay-per-view. So
I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know. Tekla needs some solid competition, man. We're worried about our girl Tekla, especially if Mercedes is coming back.
I don't like this.
Nope. Holly, we got with the $10 super chat. Where is Ruby Soho? Is she still with AEW? Yeah, she's... I don't know where she is, but she had her child with Angela Parker. They are both still with the company, and Tony is giving her all the time in the world. I don't know. Good for her. She's home making money, and she's doing her own thing. I think she opened up a coffee shop. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her. It's a good question. And then Don Stoney with a $5 super chat, and we'll end with this. Shout out to Don Tony, Wrestling Soup, Spitball Media, and as always, R.I.P. Kevin Castle. Yes. Don Stoney, thank you for being here every night, brother. We appreciate you greatly.
Yes. Love that.
All right, man. We just 2 hours, man, in and out of here. Any thoughts? Any last words before I fire up the Dark Horse?
No, man. Let's get on out of here, and hopefully we get some decent follow-up to this week. It means, look, I'm going to start looking at these shows on a week-to-week basis. I see what we get from the pay-per-view. Good. I see what we got from tonight's show. It's what I was hoping for. Next week, I want to see further follow-through on the feuds that we are getting. We now know the feuds. Let's establish a couple of more, and let's establish the next step in these feuds. Let's try to get some good follow-up leading into the pay-per-view instead of only a good pay-per-view.
We will see. My least favorite portion of the year is Forbidden Door.
Yep.
They gotta wow me, man. Wow me. I don't think it's gonna happen, though. But thank you guys very much for all your support. Appreciate you all hanging out with us here tonight on this AEW Dynamite. Venom Supreme with a 5. He says, Killer Instinct. You know, I never played one Killer Instinct game, ever. I haven't played it. Anyway, guys, we'll see you on Friday. I'll be live Friday for SmackDown. God help my soul. And Clash in Italy this weekend. Until then, guys, have a great Thursday. I'll see you Friday live right here on Off the Script.